And welcome back to another Wednesday night, and that means another night of Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, and that, of course, moving around, bopping in the video right there is none other than Hall of Famer Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
I got so relaxed. I was slumped like this. I said, let me sit up and try to be
Why
professional.
are you so relaxed, Teddy?
Well, I just feel good today.
You just feel, I do too, actually. I think, here in Georgia, the weather's gotten a little bit warmer, so you can actually move around a little bit and enjoy the outside. I can imagine that Mr. Rufus probably enjoys that too.
Oh, yeah, I had him out today, man. He had a good time.
All right, Teddy, I want to talk something to me just before we went live. And so I want to talk about that. But first, I do want to mention, they're having a lot of trouble when it comes to the ticket sales for WrestleMania. It's not meeting the expectations. Fans aren't crazy that it's being held in the same place 2 years in a row. And next year, we know that WrestleMania is scheduled to go to Saudi Arabia. Now, without getting into politics and everything else, I just want to talk about dollars and cents maybe and common sense. Teddy, if you are a wrestling fan and you see what's going on in our world right now, are you comfortable going to Saudi Arabia to watch WrestleMania?
I'm not comfortable going to Canada.
Hell, I ain't comfortable going out to Walmart.
Okay. I mean, I'm dead serious, brother. I don't even want to go into Canada. I've been there. Never had no problems. But it's like what you're saying. With what's going on and stuff, man. I wouldn't go anywhere.
No, and I'm sitting here thinking that, we know that TKO has been about the money grab ever since they got this company. Good or bad, that's what the business model basically is. But I can't imagine them putting that many wrestlers, fans, and everybody else that could be in attendance next year in a situation that could be possibly deadly for some people. Maybe you get there and you don't come back home. I mean, when you're seeing that Saudi Arabia is getting hit with, certain bombs and things being flown into them, I'm not going to get on the plane. I don't care who's over there. I'm not going to go risk my family's life for that.
Well, you have to, it's sad that we have to even talk about what's going on, but you have to put it, here's the thing. These guys didn't know this was going to happen. They didn't know, it was going to break out into a war. So now they have to maybe do some major adjustments. So I'm pretty sure that WWE and TKO that will be more concerned about the safety of the fans and themselves, because some of those guys are going to be flying over there too. So I think that they're putting maybe something together to really, to be on the safe side and to take care of people and to make sure that everything goes right.
Man, they got basically a year to get all this stuff to calm down before they're over in Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. But still, I think in a lot of people's minds, you didn't think Saudi Arabia would be affected by, bombs and everything else. And we find out that that's not the case. And I
Well,
think that's going to
that
make a lot of people
that
nervous.
that just go to show you got to prepare.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There, nobody was ready for this. You okay? This is, brand new to a lot of people. So especially that people are having to go fight this war and not knowing whether you're going to come back or whatever. Anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
So like I said once before, me and you were talking, man. We just have to put everything in God's hand because man is out of control.
Yep. Yep. And speaking out of control, this is what you mentioned to me just before we went live, that you had heard something from somebody, and I mentioned a name, and you said, that's it. I want to show you a video, Teddy. Now, I want to get because obviously you have not seen this. So I want to show you a video, and everybody who's watching right now, if you're listening via podcast, you can catch it on YouTube and see it if you need to. And by the way, thank you for everybody who's in the room right now. Please share this. Let everybody know we are live. And if you leave your comments down below, we'll throw them up on the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. This is an absolutely free show. Teddy hates when I say that, but we've always made it that way, and it's always going to remain that way with you guys when it comes to being a part of the show. All right, now, here we go. There is a debut in WWE of a character that most people, I would say, have no clue who this cat is. There's a small percentage of people that do. I only do because I've seen him once or twice on AEW back when he was working with them on a very limited basis as well. But here's what fans got at the pay-per-view this weekend, Teddy. It was a debut you won't forget. Teddy, your reaction.
Golly. Well, I mean, I don't want to criticize it, because I haven't watched the story, the build up to whatever this was.
There was
I don't want to criticize.
Teddy, I don't mean to cut you off, but there was zero build up. This is the first thing we've seen of him. The very first thing.
Is that right?
He's the guy that was in the box, the mystery box that they had.
Yeah.
That's who it was. It was Danhausen.
Okay.
Look, I don't know what they're thinking. Danhausen is not I can't imagine him actually wrestling in the WWE. He would just have to be a gimmick. There's nothing more than that. He's just.
Well, what was all the girls and all that for anyway? What did that mean?
See, and that's the problem, Teddy, is that most people who watched are asking the same question. They didn't get it. Now, those of us who are aware of Danhausen, and those who are probably in the room right now, Danhausen's kind of a weird vampire type character that curses people. You're cursed. In fact, he cursed Dominik Mysterio the other night. So I'm guessing that Dominik is probably going to start having problems in matches and stuff like that. And it's all because of Danhausen.
And now here's a guy putting curses on people that's coming out with a bunch of women dancing and stuff.
Yeah. And it felt very much like I'm going to show my age, but back when I was growing up,
don't worry about your age. You're alive. God damn it.
But there was a show called Batman, and Batman and Robin would come on, and it was these spoof shows, lots of color and stuff like that. It felt very much like his entrance felt like a Batman show with the little
kind of remind you of the Joker.
Yeah, he just kind of odd, but still, Teddy, I got to think when you have somebody like Danhausen that you're bringing into the company, I don't know what they pay him to be there, but I'm sure it's not just a little bit of money. So they bring him in, but then you let other people go who are much better talent, especially when it comes to wrestling in the ring. I'm not sure about how they're spending the money. If you're one of the talents, wouldn't you kind of find that to be a little bit of a jab?
Well, it's like I said, I think some people are being used because somebody likes them, and there's some people that are not being used because you're not liked.
Yeah, again, goes back to politics. Let's see. We have Zach Minger in the room saying, Zach, it's National Pound Cake Day, Teddy and Mac.
Well, I appreciate that, Jack, but I'm not eating any pound cake today. Thank you.
I do love that. I like pound cake, but I only like the hard crust on top. I don't like all the other cake. I just like that top part that's kind of crispy. That part's good.
All I can think about is bread.
Dave is in the room. Hey, Dave, saying Danhausen should have come in at the Royal Rumble. He's a jabroni and will fade out quickly. I agree.
I think he already faded out.
Well, let me tell you, the crowd in Chicago, when that was over with, booed him unmercifully. Teddy. And I mean, man, again, it may not be his fault, but he was not introduced. The people don't know what they're cheering or looking.
How can it be his fault? He don't know that he's doing what he's told to do.
Yep. Unfortunately. Ellen, hey, Ellen, good to see you. She's saying, hey, guys.
Hey, Ellen, how are you?
Dave is also saying that St. Louis needs a WrestleMania. We're overdue for a big wrestling town. Teddy, how often did you go through St. Louis with the WWE? Was that quite a normal run?
Well, yeah, we did. You know, back then it was the old Kiel Auditorium there where we wrestled in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I went there a lot of times. JYD, Butcher Reed and Run, where I had them back then. So yeah.
All right, let's see. We also have. Let's see if we can get the pop up real fast here. Christian saying, how's it going, guys? Hey, Christian, good to see you in here. I like saying his name too. Christian Rodriguez Espino.
Well, I'm going to just say Christian.
Yes. And Scott Lance, good to see you, Scott. I don't get the hype behind Danhausen. The presentation appears to be like a jobber from the 80s. Horrible character. Looks like if Lisa Simpson and Molehouse, I'm sorry, had a kid that became a wrestler. It's true, too. That's a good observation there. Dave was also saying that Mulkey Mania is running wild.
Yes, it is.
Glenn Williams. Okay, now, Glenn Williams, Teddy, is the guy who a couple of weeks ago sent something in that I think kind of rubbed us both wrong. Here, I'll have to remind you what it was.
Teddy Long is coming to FanFest 4 this year. Teddy Long's a good GM. Yeah, right, dude. Teddy Long can't even book a dentist appointment without making it a tag team match, playa. Ooh, a nasty burn. Mac Davis is coming to FanFest 4 this year. If Mac Davis's charisma was downloadable content, it would be the free trial. Ooh, a nasty burn.
All right, so you get the idea there, Teddy. He's keeps saying online. I keep seeing this quite a bit, and he's mentioning it here right now. This is Big Nasty Glenn Williams saying, "Quit ducking me and have me on your show." First of all, we don't do well being told what to do. That's not me. And I warned you once before, and I'll warn you one last time. Do not poke this damn bear. We clear? All right. We got to take a quick break. And Teddy, when we come back, we'll talk about all the mail that we're getting in here. But first, SICW FanFest. Here's more information.
Let's do this.
You wanted more, so we're bringing you FanFest 4. JBL, Mickey James, Carlito, Haku, Dan Severn, Robert Gibson, Kerry and Ricky Morton, Glow Girl Sonny, Bobby Fulton, Eddie Long and Mac Davis, the Brooklyn Brawler, Johnny Ross, Doyce the Clown, Demolition, D-Lo Brown, Buff Bagwell, Harvey Whippleman, Paul Ellering, the Powers of Pain, Wildfire, Tommy Rich, Cowboy Bob Orton, and more. May 8th and 9th, Fairview Heights, Illinois, at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. SICW FanFest 4. Plus, the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Weekend includes Mick Foley's one-man show and the Bruiser Brody Memorial. SIC.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
Should probably probably also mention something else too, Teddy, while I'm thinking about it from SICW FanFest. Demolition was entered into this year's Hall of Fame.
Good.
And they will be at SICW for the big festivities there. So congratulations to those two for sure.
Yeah, they're a couple of nice guys.
Yeah, man, and always very helpful if you ever need something that what you need, which is I love that in this business. Let's see, Teddy G from Facebook asked, Teddy, who had the most influence on you, not just wrestling, but in life?
That's really a hard question because
Yeah,
when I grew up, I didn't grow up with my mother and father. They were deceased real early, so I kind of grew up in the streets. So I really didn't look up to nobody, I guess, but people that, I was surrounded around. I guess those were the kind of people, I guess, because that was the life I wanted to live because that's all I knew.
yeah.
So I just don't know. I think the only person, really I had was to look up to was God. That was it. Because I know I was out there on my own and that was it.
Teddy, when a lot of people find this to be the case that are involved in wrestling, but when you get into wrestling, you hear people say it all the time, you have another family. But in reality, it really is. You learn and grow with these people if you're together, and so it does become your family. I'm curious, is that the first time you felt like you had a family unit when you got into wrestling?
Well, the wrestling world and the outside world are two different things. Once you step into that arena, you're in a whole nother world now. You're in the wrestling world. So now that's another family. So now this is a world here. You have to learn how to live, eat, survive. You know what I mean? All that comes, in that world, in the world of wrestling. So once you're out of there, then you can be your normal self. You know what I mean? And that's what some guys do when they give them characters. For the wrestling world, they take that character all the way to the real world.
Yeah,
Start believing that they're really this person, and that's really bad when do that to yourself. You know
yeah.
what I mean? You got to always remember, what this is.
Was there somebody in the back that you would say maybe early on in your career when you got into wrestling that was kind of a father figure that kind of said, Teddy, look, I'm this is kind of stuff I'm gonna help you with. I had somebody like that, so I'm kind of guessing that a lot of people do. Did you have
Uh,
somebody like that?
God rest their souls. Harley Race was one of them. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, God rest his soul. Kevin Sullivan, God rest his soul. He was another one. God, I don't want to miss anybody because there were a lot of people. JYD, God rest his soul. He really, me and him had a chance to ride together, learned a lot
Yep.
from him. But there are just a lot of guys that people did. Oh, Terry Funk. Gee, please don't let me leave out Terry. And Terry and was a guy that was really, me and him were so close that I never did forget to call him on Christmas. Every Christmas, I'd always call Terry. And Ricky Steamboat is another guy that was really, helped me quite a bit. And he's another guy that I still call today. I talked to him last year. So, yeah, there were a lot of guys that Gary Hart. Yeah. He was another one that helped me out a lot, and also Nick Patrick's father, Jody Hamilton. Yeah, Big Jody. He saved me one night. We was in Washington D.C. We was doing Capital Combat, and Ole at the time was the booker. God rest his soul. They had this hair versus hair match with me and Paul Ellering. Now I don't have no hair. Paul Ellering has no hair.
Yeah.
So what is the purpose of this? You know what I mean? But I knew, but the thing was they was cutting my hair. So okay.
Yeah.
So and then I was going through other things with other people too. So man, I'm like, I just had enough. So I told Jody, I said, I'm out of here. And he pulled me to the side and he talked to me and he told me, no, don't. He said, they're trying to get your son. This, and he just calmed me down. And then I kind of got a grip on it, and I'm like, okay, I just got to ignore some of this stuff.
I gotta tell you too, Teddy. Even though you didn't have much hair on your head, you were better off getting it shaved off. It looks much better off than it did on. But back
But
then, that's still
back
your hair.
then, that wasn't the case.
Well, now you did have a little bowl missing up on top of the head up here, and you had kind of that little wrap
well,
going.
well, he didn't have no hair either. So How can you put hair versus hair?
Nobody cares. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Elijah saying, talking about Danhausen, people think that Vince is back because of the situation, and let alone that question I was going to ask you guys. Did you guys hear about the rumor? All right, Elijah, you lost me on that. Okay, hold on. Here we go. He's got a follow up here. Something about Vince McMahon could be buying back the company. If Saudi Arabia gets it, I wanted to know if you heard about that and if it's true or not. If you go back to our last show, we actually discussed that. And you know, I don't know that it's any more than just a rumor. I think but as Teddy and I said last week, is it a possibility? Could something like that happen? Yeah, I could see that happening for a number of reasons. And one of them being the ticket sales for WrestleMania and next year's WrestleMania in Saudi maybe being in question right now. They may be seriously looking to unload that company and be interested in hearing offers from Vince or anybody else. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Legally, who knows? Let's see if we got what we got here. We have Herb Simmons in the room. He's saying, "Good evening, gentlemen. Hope is all is well." And back to you, Herb. Looking forward to that in St. Louis. And of course, Herb now, Teddy, this is one of the things I love about this company. Herb did not want to go into his own Hall of Fame, but there's a reason for that because he didn't think it was for a place of a promoter to go in there. And when he mentioned that to me, I was like, you're out of your damn mind. You've done this for over 50 years. You deserve to be in that Hall of Fame. Show me another promoter that can claim the same, and maybe they should be in the Hall of Fame too.
Well, it's just like right now, you know, I don't know why they don't put some of the officials in the Hall of Fame. You know, Tim White, God rest his soul. And there's a guy that with Mike Chioda, these guys were 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't understand that part. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of personalities, and we talk about this all the time. But, you know, this is entertainment, and there were some very entertaining people like Bobby the Brain Heenan. If he had never, you know, people like that, well, you get a manager in there. Okay, well, they had to fight to get managers in there probably. If you want to get, let's say, an announcer in there that is famous, like throughout the years, you get Gordon Sully. Well, Gordon did go in, though, didn't he, Teddy?
I don't remember. I know Jim Ross. Did they put him in, didn't they?
Yeah, they put him in, but you know, a lot of times they tried to attach it to something else. So it's like, you know, in your case, you went in just as the general manager, although you should have gone in also as a referee and for your time as an official in the business as well, don't you think? Or even as a manager.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can always cover that by, you know, mentioning what you've done, you know, in the past. That covers all that, and then you don't have to make no big deal out of it.
We also have Ian here saying, what's up? Let's see.
Are you sure that's what that said?
That's what it said. Falls Count everywhere. Mac, we invite you along with Teddy at FanFest 4 to have some real wrestling talk. We look forward to that. I actually, that's something I do look forward to sit down and be able to, you know, just, you know, shoot the shit like we did last year. I had a blast doing that. AJ Wallace is in the room. I heard from him earlier today. Glenn Williams is just as annoying as Travis Cook, for goodness sakes.
Well, who is Glenn Williams?
Glenn Williams is Big Nasty, the guy we were talking about a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Dave is saying indica or sativa. Teddy? I have no idea what he's talking about. Indica? What was that, a country somewhere?
Both,
okay. You depends on the time. What time of day is it? Let's see. Avi, hey, man, I have not seen him in a long time. Avi Klein. Good evening, gentlemen. Good to see you, brother.
What it is, player?
Scott Lance saying, hey, Glenn Williams, I have taken a Mac Davis spear. Yes, he has. You don't want any of that. Teddy, what's your favorite souvenir you've gotten in your stay in wrestling?
I don't have any souvenirs. Well, the ones that I did have, I think I've got rid of them now, so I don't really have any.
Yeah, you do. You got a picture. This is souvenirs. You and I at SummerSlam a few years ago in Nashville.
Oh yeah, I'm looking right at that right now.
Oh yeah, that's probably worth a ton of money.
Well, it won't be up that long.
No, knock it down and put something else in the frame. Let's see. We have saying, Mac.
Oh, come on.
What's your ultimate go-to comfort food that you crave after a long day that always hits different? And what makes it so perfect every single time? I can tell you that my absolute favorite comfort food is pork chops with black-eyed peas over rice. I feel like I'm home every time I have that. My wife knows that because she makes it once a week because I like it that much. But it just reminds me of the early days back when things were really simple. And quite honestly, I love pork chops. They may not like me all the time, but I do love a good pork chop.
Well,
Let's see, Teddy.
yeah.
If you could. I'm curious. What indica or sativa, brother?
He's on both of them.
Teddy, if you could teleport anywhere right now for 1 hour of pure chaos, where would you go, and what one ridiculous thing would you do first?
I would go straight to Corpus Christi, and I'd go straight to Walter's Oyster Bar and get the biggest margarita I could ever find. And I hadn't had a drink of alcohol in 20 years.
What's the most one ridiculous thing that you would do? Let's see if I got that right. What one ridiculous thing would you do first?
That's it.
You just get the thing. Have you ever done any kind of crazy shit, Teddy, like parasailing or anything like that? No. I never saw you as one of those risk takers. Not like that.
No.
That was going to hurt you, right? Justin in the room. He's saying, I can still see Teddy Long's face when Undertaker was his limousine driver. Buckle up, Teddy. I love the banging and clanging on the car windows. Hey, get me out of here. Tyler Cooley. Good evening, gentlemen. Hey, Tyler, it's great to see you in here. Let's see. Let me get another question from the mailbag. Jet Boy X wants to know, what is your favorite memory of a match in your history?
I guess the one that was really for me, I guess, was the Chi-Town Heat. I was involved in that thing with Flair and Steamboat, and and that was a real big deal. And to be able to be a part of that and referee that was, and that's part of the finish. And the finish is really the main thing.
Yeah.
So that was good memory there.
All right, we have Scott Lance saying, Mac and Teddy, what was your worst receipt you ever got? Hell, anytime I was in the ring with Mike Stratus, I got a receipt during the entire match, and so did he. So that's just how it was with us. Teddy, what about you?
I never got any receipts. I try to stay away from them.
That's somebody else, right?
You have to work and get me.
Oh, yeah. All right, now look here. I'm trying not to get rid of Herb here. Let's see. Here we go. Herb is saying, tell Teddy our negotiations locally are still being discussed. Answer coming soon.
Yeah, he's mentioning, he's been talking with the board of directors there with SICW about the deal, me coming in as the general manager. Like I said, we're still talking. So thank you very much, Herb. And, hopefully they'll come up to some kind of decision. I'll see what I want to do. I don't know, man. I'm enjoying myself at home, sleeping in my own bed every night. So it's going to take a lot of thinking.
I hear you. All right, let's see. We also have a wrestling historian. Does Mr. Long prefer going by Teddy or Theodore?
Doesn't make any difference.
No, you call him whatever you want as long as you don't call him to pay for anything.
That's it.
That's right. Hoss Holding in the room too. Hoss, how you doing, man? It looks like your health is doing great, and I see you back out and about again. And,
all right.
Let's see. We also have E on the screen. Brother, I don't even know what it means. Y'all ever see the old show Celebrity Deathmatch? Yes, I did. It was like a claymation of celebrities fighting to the death. Teddy, do you remember that?
I remember it, but I couldn't remember none of the matches. But I remember Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah, it was one of those moments during the Attitude Era and stuff like that where stuff was just crazy. And man, yeah, that stuff was funny as hell to me. Let's see what else we got here. We have AJ saying, he's replying to John. Travis. Okay, yeah, it's just a personal question to somebody else. Much deserved Herb Simmons, that's coming from Dave Crone for his Hall of Fame induction into the SICW St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Hoss Holding also saying it should be without question, Jazz should be in the Hall of Fame. I think that's overdue. Teddy, I did see, though, that Jazz has now become a trainer at the Performance Center down in Orlando.
Well, that's good. Congratulations to her. I did hear that too, and then I also heard something about they were going to put her in the Hall of Fame. Now I don't know.
They should.
That's a rumor too. But if she did get hired at NXT, congratulations to her. She's a good trainer. Those girls will really learn. They'll get it right because she don't play.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, congratulations to her.
We have somebody here, Teddy, Justin Kempfer, saying we need a Teddy Long action figure ASAP.
I need one too.
Yeah, as long as he gets those royalties off of it. Chris Fairclaw saying, hey, guys. Also, Dave is saying that Teddy had some nice suits. Yeah, you were always styling on TV. Who picked those suits out for you? Did you pick out your own suits?
I picked out my own suits.
All right, let's see. We also have Pretty Classy Lady. Oh, you're back in the room tonight. Hopefully whatever was wrong last week is fixed. She says, I'm here, but I missed most of the live. Oh, that's okay. Go back and watch it. You can watch it on repeat. By the way, you can also find us on the podcast platforms that are out there. If you ever want to just catch us while you're in the car or something like that, just look us up on your favorite podcast platform. That's where we'll be. Let's see. I'm trying to get everybody in before we have to go. Real Brian Clark. Hey, brother. Saying, good evening, guys. Hope you both are doing well.
All right, Brian, you the man, player.
Let's see. AJ saying that I would like to see The Undertaker in SICW FanFest 4. Hopefully, Herb Simmons can get a chance to get him to do Fairview Heights, Illinois. That would be a dream come true, meeting The Undertaker, who is my pro wrestling idol of all time.
Well, I'd like to see Taker there too. Okay, so you never know. You never know. Herb make a deal now because that's what Herb do. He makes deals.
Yes. We also have Dave saying, I'm sorry, Dave, my mouth is not working all of a sudden. David Hurry saying, much love from Pittsburgh. And
hey, what's up, Dave?
Elijah saying, I would love for WWE to come to DMV where I live, especially the new Commander Stadium in DC that they're building. I would love for them to come to DC to have WrestleMania there in Washington, DC. Is DC a WrestleMania town, Teddy, or is that a smaller pay-per-view type of town?
Well, no, I think DC's a WrestleMania town. That's a capital. Shit, man.
Well, I wonder, there's always seems to be like there's something within the DC area that's an issue. So they tried to stay away from, Washington, DC, because they can, I guess maybe it's the seating capacity I'm thinking of. Maybe that's the issue.
Well, I'm not sure, but every time we went there for his wrestling at the arenas and stuff, man, they was always sold out.
Let's see. Martin's daddy saying, love the show. Keep it up. Holla, players.
Holla, player.
And let's see. We also have Hoss saying she is in NXT, talking about Jazz. We're so happy for her and the big dog. Absolutely. That's a good family, too, by the way.
Yes, they are.
All right, let's see. Hoss, you also got in here. I want to pop all these up before we're gone. Justin. Where are you, Justin? Justin. There we go. That's Martin. Okay, saying hit the button, y'all, or else y'all go one-on-one with the Undertaker, player.
Don't be spilling my stuff, player.
Teddy, we're out of time. I have more stuff, but we're running over, and I got in trouble last week because they had sent me a message. Careful, we'll cut you off. So
okay.
So tell me, who was going to win I got this hat here, by the way. See. Favorite question gets this hat right here. The Road Trip After Hours ball cap.
We listened to a guy earlier in the show there that had something like the Teddy G. Was that his name?
Yeah, Teddy G from Facebook about the most influential person in your life. Yeah, good question. Okay. Teddy, we'll get that out to you. I think I have your address. If I don't, shoot me that address. And just DM it over to me and we'll take care of everything. And that's it, Teddy. I'm out of time. Anything coming up for you need to talk about?
I'll get more information, but I'm going to be on March the 28th, Lexington, North Carolina. I'm going to be there for a big deal and at the high school there. So I got to get the flyer to you, Matt. So we could have put it up, but I forgot about it.
Now, I know you got this coming up on March 21st.
Well, I got 3 nights there. That Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Maryland. So I'll be in some different place, but 3 nights over in Maryland. Yeah.
And we're going to get James Ellsworth back
And
on the
MLW, I got that coming up March the 14th in Atlanta, Georgia at Center Stage. MLW.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. We hope you'll join us wherever we may be. We will be at SICW FanFest 4, and that's in Fairview Heights, Illinois. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Always is every year. If you don't have tickets, go get them now. It's simple. SICW.org. That's the address to go to. Teddy, I enjoyed it, my friend.
I always enjoy it. Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a great evening. We'll see you back next Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, right here. Same time, same place.
Holla, players.